Virgo, some of your messages are: why can't you believe a thing that they say? What have they done for you, and what have you done for them? Um, and last message is: I would never live like you dirty motherfuckers. I will never live like you dirty motherfuckers. I will never live like you dirty motherfuckers. Those are Virgo's beginning messages. The Chariot in reverse, which is like kind of the card of like, being able to take a risk. Lately, it's been feeling like you've been in a rut. So like trying to take anything too serious on, like head on, tackle it head on. To me, it feels like you might hesitate because you don't want this to be like a short-term thing. You want to be able to make your money last, is what I'm picking up on. So there could be like a choice that you're making when it comes to your financial situation. You want to make your money last, you want to make your love last, whatever it is. Like, you're not ready to dedicate your whole entire everything or bet on everything, you know what I mean? So 5 of Cups in the reverse, you can't bet on everything because at some point everything kind of does fall apart. Or it's like more recently everything's been kind of falling apart in general in your life, and so you're trying to stay as far away from individuals or financial situations that just don't seem fit for you. You know what I mean? Ace of Blades, yeah. So there is important reasons on why you can only really support yourself right now. So you might have to leave a couple of different things behind. The world in the reverse, but that shit always comes back around. Like, the world is a whole entire representation of like what it's like to be able to travel to 50 different places in 100 days type shit. It's like being able to travel in your mind to so many different places that you never ever are short of perspective and never short of opportunities. Okay, so that's what that card means basically. King of Blades in the reverse, that's kind of difficult too when people are trying to put that pressure onto you. When people are trying to like almost put a knife to your throat, it feels like you gotta force some shit, right? It's like fear that if you don't force yourself to smile, to laugh, to force yourself to live around whatever this is, or to deal with whoever these individuals are, that you're gonna end up being exactly as they say, or you're gonna end up being someone that you don't want to be. You feel like if you don't continuously push yourself, that like the person who you want to love you, or the people who you want to love you, won't love you. 9 of Coins in the reverse, yeah, your huge fear of like perfection, right? So definitely upright is like change is coming regardless of whether you like that shit or not. So whether you're taking a leap of faith, or other people around you are taking a leap of faith, it's there. Okay, there's no avoiding it. It's impossible. So the Tower in the upright, like, you have choices, you have options. Don't forget that. Ace of Wands in the reverse, while you might not be the most creatively driven person currently right now, you have all of these skills that you've built up through a certain job, or through a certain just way of moving. Like socially, definitely to other people you are viewed as like a socially matured person. So you're respected, okay? You're respected. 4 of Cups, you might not like being respected, or like this feeling of people coming towards you and trying to bombard you with questions. They pull out a whole motherfucking 80 questionnaire type shit, and you're just like, I don't want to deal with this shit right now. 9 of Blades in the reverse is like that extra pressure from like not only people, but now you got real life material shit going on. So then you have real life problems outside of just people and outside of just your emotions. So now you have to shove back all of your emotions, all of your everything towards the people that you're supposed to be loved by, or you want to love you. Now you got to shove all that shit to the side to deal with something that's just plain simple and material, which makes you highly stressed, which means when you're dealing with the materials, it doesn't sit down, like it doesn't sit right. Excuse me. 9 of Cups in the upright, yeah. So like if you're looking for the ultimate opportunity to be happy and be content with your mind, body, and spirit and your partners, there is this kind of quest that you've been on so far to separate yourself from the rest of humanity, to separate yourself from maybe people that you haven't seen in a while, or you're choosing to do this now, and this will be like later down the line when you finally do get to rekindle. But there is a rekindling happening where you haven't talked to certain people in a very long time, and Page of Cups in the reverse could be your could be something to do with a child. But I'm gonna say this, right? Because you are reconnecting with family lines, because you have made a lot of changes and altered a lot of your mind space, Seven of Wands is what you're expecting, but Page of Blades is what you get, a shocking revelation. Okay, so Five of Wands has how it was in the past, but Seven of Coins, an offer of some sort. Could be a financial offer, right? Maybe you've gotten rejected before at whatever this job is, or maybe this is a situation where you just are used to feeling rejected within relationships. Somebody is still, it's looking like to me, Three of Coins in the reverse, somebody is not going to give up. Okay, Three of Coins is like, oh, well, I could easily go anywhere I want, actually. Like, Three of Coins is like, oh, it doesn't even fucking matter. If I want to go here, then I could go here. If I want to go there, then I could go there. They're still choosing to deal with whatever your situation is, okay? The Sun in the upright. Queen of Coins in the reverse. So, no matter what, you definitely have support. That feeling of lack, or that feeling like you can never go towards anyone for anything, I think is actually a very wrong idea, because it does seem like you have at least one or two people in your life who are fully capable of supporting you emotionally, and yet you don't really take that hand. You know what I mean? Five of Blades in the reverse. Yeah, you don't really feel comfortable enough yet. You're too aggressive, I think, when it comes to this idea of our loneliness. Like, I'm better off alone. You're way too aggressive with that shit, and it's understandable because you've been through a lot. But just because you've been through a lot, it doesn't mean that you need to go through more. You know what I mean? So you could prevent a lot of shit from happening as long as you are willing to trust the people that you can trust, right? They've given you no inkling or no instance of being a betrayer, or being an annoying ass person, or of being somebody who's hateful. Like someone who's trying to take you down. I know you're used to that, but Virgo, that's just not how everyone is. Not for the collective that I'm reading for. All right. Yeah, I heard something about resigning, being able to resign yourself from a position. So maybe you're leaving a position at work, or you're resigning out of different people's lives because you feel like Four of Blades. If you was capable of changing everyone's mind and making everyone happy, you genuinely would. If that was something that you was capable of doing, you would do that. But fortunately and kind of unfortunately, everyone has their opinions of you, and everyone has their opinions of your choices. And so regardless of what you say, right, the Star in the reverse, they might always choose to reject you. So you see how the perspective changed, and it looks like he's pushing her or dropping her, right? People may always choose to log out of your situation, or people may always choose to argue with you about your situation. There might be no chance of rekindling and accepting this relationship into your life again, or accepting this job into your life again. But that's why, Eight of Blades, you're mourning it. You're going through the whole mourning process and be like, oh my God, this is very emotional. This is very aggressive. I don't like the way this feels. Ten of Wands, still panicking. It's going to take you a couple of weeks, I think. I'm going to say 2 to 3 weeks to actually deal with this situation on an emotional level. And then Knight of Wands, of course, is the adrenaline. This is the realization. The realization finally hits you in about 3 weeks. I'm gonna say end of February. It finally hits you that you're free. Okay, you're free of thought. You don't have to think about these people on your day-to-day. They don't have to like you. They don't have to love you. That feeling is amazing. Knight of Blades, they might try to still sabotage you or try to like talk down to you or talk bad about you. You might hear it through like the olive branch or whatever, like trickle down, and you hear it and you're like, oh, okay, so they still think that about me. That's all right though. No, it is what it is. King of Wands in the reverse, like this amount of freedom can get really intoxicating. Okay, it's a lot of adrenaline. You might find yourself maybe drinking a little bit more, smoking a little bit more, or doing something like that you're addicted to a little bit more. And it does not have to be bad things. Okay, you could be clean and still have like addiction to adrenaline, which would be like, you know, going for a run, or like, you know, if you like music, like dancing to some fucking music, like you have some sort of active life. Yeah, they're telling me that it's not no drugs or anything like that. It's something that's like actually very positive for you, something you've been addicted to for a very long time. You're practicing it. Okay, 8 of Cups in the upright. Yeah, and so this is like, this might become your surrounding situation. Like there's something about downsizing here, having to downsize your situation or your setup. The Tower, yup, look, there's an apartment, you might have to downsize, or this could be your home, you might have to downsize your home, because there's only a couple of choices that you have for right now, but realize that none of these are long-term. They're all temporary. And I know temporary scares you a little bit, because you don't want to be in a wrong situation and then like later down the line it's like you become in the right situation, you live in the right area, you're dealing with the right person, and it's like, you know, you want to have a continuation. But Ace of Wands tells me that like no matter what, you're gonna forever have something to do opportunity wise. There's always like this huge, ever extending, like infinite fucking light. You're always gonna have something. 3 of Cups in the reverse is like, okay, so people have basically told you to knock it the fuck off. People have told you that you're not capable of doing certain things. Like this challenge is too much of a challenge for you to actually digest. Someone like you. But 4 of Cups in the reverse is like, that's just childish play, right? They're making it a competition when they don't need to. I feel like they're almost doing things to, yeah, they're doing things to slight you and spite you and make you stressed out. Like they might be doing small things, saying small things to stress you the fuck out. The Magician in the upright, yeah, they're doing things on purpose. You can see like almost sarcasm on his face a little bit. He's got a very like crazy look in his eyes, but he looks like he's being a little sarcastic with shit. I think that there's one way to like have all the things that you want right now. There truly is. There is one way. Okay, and the only one way that's going to happen is a complete and utter change of lifestyle. Okay, so you want all of these things, right? But you've been living a very singular lifestyle. You might want certain people in your life. You might want a lover. You might want kids. Like, there's sacrifices that need to happen, and it has everything to do with you personally, and it is something that you can change right now, like right now as I'm talking. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Like, if you want to change your situation, or maybe you want to start a new business, or you want, like, you're looking for very long-term oriented things, you need to start shifting your mind over from being alone, because until you work on this aspect of not asking for help necessarily, but being more open with your emotional qualities, that's not going to happen. Okay, that's a page you can leave behind, because like you're not going to, until you change this like very lonely individualistic mindset where you're like, oh, it's all easier alone. I mean it's easy for me to do this because then I don't have to communicate, or like, you know, I don't want to talk to somebody, is draining. Like, you got to learn though. You understand me? The reason why it drains you is because it's possible that it gives you too much anxiety, or it doesn't put you in the right light. Okay? So, Virgos, switch it up. Okay? Switch up. Switch up. Like, you be looking for, like, what are my spirits trying to tell me? What are they trying to tell me here or here or there? Switch it up. You're in that lonely ass mindset because you refuse to reach out for some fucking help. Now you're in a different position, and you're in the perfect position to get exactly what you want through talking, communicating, making connections, and asking. questions. I mean, really, ask questions. Like, for real. 10 of Swords in the upright. Ask fucking questions. There ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, there's nothing wrong with, like, being curious or, like, you know, I feel like curiousness not really in, like, a... I'm not talking about, like, you in a relationship and whatever, like, curious about, like, darker shit. I'm not talking about, no, like, cheating and all that type of shit. That has nothing to do with, like, curiosity. You should be pissed if someone cheat on you. For some reason, I picked up that storyline. What I mean is, be curious about life itself. About the paths that you can go down. They're endless, for sure, right? And, you know, either way, they're temporary. And so if you ask questions or make connections with some of the right people, right? Make connections with a lot of resources, right? Resources can be governmental or it could be literal people. You know, just people looking to help people like you. If you dig into that and you accept that, all that's going to come from that is like an extra boost for success. Like, that's all that's going to come from that. You're so scared, right? You're scared of being small and taking advantage of. You're scared of all that. But you ain't, look, Four of Pentacles, you ain't got nothing to be afraid of. Like, if you look at that, that is support. They're supporting that motherfucking corn plant, bitch. That is support. That is full on fucking support. And where you're heading, okay? That is where you're going. That is where you're going. Let's see, a couple more outcome cards. The World, Chalices. Okay, so strong. Such a strong system or like support system. Okay, you might have found like a strong program or a strong job or a strong lover. Okay, very, very strong personality, or it just feels right. You know what I mean? Like a strong personality person like you. Someone with like all the bossiness, you know, all the charm in the world type shit. I feel like this suits you. It definitely suits you. They talk about concubines as well. You might be in a high leading position where you deal with a lot of women. So they said something about concubines or like having a lot of hoes, okay? The hoes from different area codes. But you're meant to be in a leadership position is what they say, Virgo. Or you're meant to lead yourself, right? If you are creating your own thing, it's not that like you need people to help you with it. It's that you do need support. You need people to like praise you and give you praise and, you know, tell you that you're doing all right. Like if you don't got a mother system, or if your mother doesn't dote on you and shit like that, you're missing that whole piece of like having a female figure or a feminine figure be appreciative of you. Okay. So they're talking about that. They're talking about having struggles or problems with your moms, or maybe you are really tight with your mom and it's like you're trying to go off on your own and your mom won't let you do all that type of shit. So Virgo, it can go a lot of different ways, and I'm just letting you know everything is there. Everything you fucking need is right there. So let's start picking up the motherfucking pace. All right, Virgo? I love you guys, and I'll see you later.